But don't try and trick me now because I'm not going to play this game. Delete that bit. John, can you just delete it, please, that bit? Because I don't want to go down this...
Duchess, I'm asking very fair questions of you.
No, it's too tabloidy.
Don't try to trap me into this. I'm not playing that game. That line, sharp, defensive, almost explosive, perfectly captures the mood building behind palace walls right now. Because something is happening, something messy, complicated, and potentially dangerous for everyone involved. And at the center of it all, a woman the royal family once dismissed, laughed off, and quietly pushed to the sidelines for decades. Sarah Ferguson. But here's the twist no one saw coming. She's not quiet anymore. And if the reports are even partially true, she may be holding something powerful enough to shake the monarchy to its core. Because this story doesn't start with her. It starts with a moment that changed everything. February 19th, 2026. A date that didn't just make headlines. It made history. Because on that day, something almost unthinkable happened. Prince Andrew was arrested. Not questioned. Not investigated quietly behind closed doors. Arrested. And not just on any day. On his birthday. Now stop for a second and think about what that actually means. A senior royal, a member of one of the most protected institutions in the world, becomes the first of his kind to face arrest in nearly 400 years. That's not just a scandal. That's a rupture. The kind that doesn't just shake headlines, it shakes history. But the arrest was only the beginning, because what followed was even more unsettling. Investigations, searches, documents, and questions, serious ones, about whether Andrew had misused sensitive information during his time as a trade envoy. Then came the images. Photos tied to the infamous Epstein files. Emails that raised eyebrows across the globe. And suddenly, this wasn't just about one man anymore. It was about the system around him, the connections, the silence, the people who knew and what they knew. And standing just outside that storm, watching it all unfold, was someone who had been there the entire time. Sarah Ferguson. Now here's where the story turns from serious to explosive, because instead of stepping back, instead of protecting what little distance she still had from the situation, Fergie is reportedly considering doing the exact opposite. Speaking out, not quietly, not carefully, but publicly, in what insiders are calling a potential $2.45 million tell-all interview. Let that sink in. Decades of access, decades of proximity, decades of being inside rooms the public never sees. And now, a microphone, a platform, and possibly nothing left to lose. Because according to sources, this isn't just about telling her side of the story. This is about something deeper. Anger. Frustration. A sense that her life, her reputation has been shaped, controlled, and at times, sacrificed. And if she goes down, she might not go alone. That's the part that has reportedly sent shockwaves through royal circles. Because insiders are saying she may have kept things. Evidence. Messages. Memories that weren't meant to become public. And if that's true, then this isn't just a story anymore. It's leverage. Now, let's talk about the name that keeps getting pulled into this. Whether fairly or not. Meghan Markle. Because every time Andrew's story resurfaces, so does hers. And not always in ways that are accurate. There have been rumors, persistent, damaging ones, linking her to Andrew long before she joined the royal family. But here's the reality that often gets buried under speculation. There is no verified evidence of any personal relationship between Meghan and Andrew beyond her marriage to Prince Harry. Those viral yacht photos? Misidentified. The narratives? Repeated, not proven. And yet, every time Andrew trends, her name gets dragged back into the conversation. Again.
And again.
And again. So, where does Fergie fit into all of this? That's the question no one can answer yet. Because if she speaks, and that's still an if, what she says could either clarify things or make everything far worse. There are already whispers that she could mention people connected to Andrew's past, social circles, events,
names.
And even if Meghan is only mentioned in passing, the impact would be immediate. Because in today's media landscape, context doesn't always matter. Association is enough. But here's where the story becomes even more complicated. Because while some outlets are framing this as Meghan being under pressure, others are suggesting something completely different, that she and Harry may actually feel validated. Because for years, they've spoken about issues inside the monarchy, about inconsistencies, about how situations were handled,
And now?
Those same issues are playing out publicly. Does that mean they're celebrating it? Not necessarily. But it does add another layer to an already complex situation. Because emotions here aren't simple. They're mixed. Relief, frustration, exhaustion, all happening at the same time. And then there's the comparison that's quietly gaining traction. Fergie 2.0. A label some insiders have used when talking about Meghan. Not because their stories are identical, but because the pattern feels familiar. Women connected to the royal family, stepping outside of it, and then facing intense scrutiny, criticism, and public judgment. Different situations, different choices, but the same cycle. So now we're left with the biggest question of all. What happens next? Because this story is far from over. Prince Andrew remains under investigation. New developments continue to surface. And Sarah Ferguson is standing at a crossroads. Stay silent, or speak, and potentially change everything. Because if she does speak, this won't just be another interview. It won't just be another headline. It will be a moment that forces the public to look at the monarchy differently. At its structure, its decisions, its past, and maybe its future. So ask yourself this. Is Fergie really about to talk? Or is this pressure building meant to keep everyone on edge? Because one thing is certain. When someone who has been silent for decades suddenly finds their voice, people listen. And if what she says is even half as explosive as insiders suggest, then this isn't just a royal story anymore. It's a turning point. And whatever happens next won't stay behind palace walls for long.